My mother-in-law threw my premature baby's clothes away, said, "Why keep them if he won't survive?" The tiny knitted hat was gone. I stared at the empty drawer in disbelief, my trembling fingers searching through the space where I'd carefully folded each miniature outfit. The yellow onacy with ducks that my mother had sewn by hand. The impossibly small socks my best friend brought from Paris. The coming home outfit I'd bought the day we learned he was a boy. All gone. Looking for something. Eleanor's voice dripped with false sweetness from the doorway. I turned to face my mother-in-law, my voice barely a whisper. "Where are Liam's clothes?" She examined her manicured nails. "I did some cleaning. No point keeping things that won't be needed." My blood turned to ice. "What did you do?" "I threw them away," she said simply, as if discussing yesterday's newspaper. "Why keep them if he won't survive? The doctors said 20% chance. Those aren't winning odds, dear." The room spun. My son was 3 floors below us, fighting for every breath in the NICU, tubes and wires monitoring his tiny body, and this woman had thrown away his clothes. Not just clothes. My hope, my faith, the future I refused to stop believing in. "Get them back," I managed, gripping the empty drawer for support. Eleanor laughed, actually laughed. "They are in the hospital dumpster by now. Besides, Marcus agrees with me. No point living in denial." "Marcus?" "My husband." I looked past her to where he stood in the hallway, unable to meet my eyes. "Tell me you didn't know about this," I begged him. He shifted uncomfortably. "Mom's just being practical, Serena. We need to prepare for all possibilities." Those words from the man who'd promised to stand by me in sickness and health, who'd cried with joy when we first heard Liam's heartbeat. Now he stood there, a stranger wearing my husband's face, while his mother dismantled our son's future piece by piece. I pushed past them both, racing to the elevator. 3 floors down to the NICU, where my 28-week miracle was proving everyone wrong, one heartbeat at a time. Through the secured doors, past the sanitization station, to his isolette where he lay under blue lights, his chest rising and falling with determined precision. "Hey, fighter," I whispered, placing my hand on the clear plastic wall. "Mom is here." Mrs. Torres. The head nurse, Patricia Westbrook, appeared beside me. She'd been on duty for 36 straight hours, refusing to leave during Liam's critical period. "You look distressed. What happened?" I tried to speak, but only tears came. Patricia guided me to the family room, her experienced eyes taking in everything. My shaking hands, my disheveled appearance after 3 weeks of NICU vigils, the way I kept looking back toward Liam's isolette. My mother-in-law, I finally managed. She threw away all his clothes. Said there was no point keeping them if he won't. Patricia's expression shifted from concern to something harder, colder. "She did what?" I explained everything, Eleanor's casual cruelty, Marcus's agreement, the empty drawer that had held my hope. Patricia listened in silence, but I saw her jaw tighten with each word. "Wait here," she said quietly. "I need to make a phone call." She left me in the family room, returning 10 minutes later with a grim expression. "Mrs. Torres, I need you to understand something. This hospital takes psychological welfare as seriously as physical health. What you've described isn't just cruel. It's a form of abuse that could affect your ability to provide care for Liam." I stared at her, confused. "But I'm not. I would never." "I know," Patricia said gently. "But you're being systematically undermined during an incredibly vulnerable time. That affects your mental health, which affects your ability to be present for your son. We've seen this pattern before." She pulled out a card. "This is Dr. Catherine Morrison. She's our chief of psychiatry, but more importantly, she sits on the board that oversees custody and welfare cases involving NICU patients. She'll want to speak with you." Within an hour, my world shifted. Dr. Morrison didn't just listen, she documented. Every cruel comment Eleanor had made since Liam's premature birth. Every time Marcus had chosen his mother over his son's needs. The time Eleanor tried to convince me to sign a DNR just in case. The way she'd told the nurses I was being dramatic when I insisted on kangaroo care. "This is medical abuse by proxy," Dr. Morrison explained. "They are attempting to sabotage your bond with your child during a critical period. It's more common than you'd think, especially with premature births where outcomes are uncertain." But the real revelation came when Patricia returned with security footage. The hospital cameras had captured Eleanor in the gift shop, laughing with her friend as she stuffed Liam's clothes into a garbage bag. The audio was clear. "My stupid daughter-in-law actually thinks that baby will come home. 20% survival rate, and she's planning his first birthday. At least when it dies, Marcus can finally divorce her and find someone worthy of our family name. Dr. Morrison's face was stone. Mrs. Torres, I'm initiating several protocols. First, Eleanor is now banned from the NICU. Security will have her photo. Second, we're requiring all medical decisions to go through you alone. Your husband has shown he can't advocate for his child's best interests. Third, I'm connecting you with our legal aid department. Legal aid. The hospital has a fund specifically for mothers in your situation. Premature birth is traumatic enough without family sabotage. We're going to ensure you have the support you need. The confrontation came that evening. Eleanor and Marcus arrived at the NICU demanding entry, only to be stopped by security. I watched through the glass doors as Patricia personally delivered the news. You're banned from this facility, Mrs. Torres Sr., Patricia said calmly. Your actions constitute psychological abuse of a patient's mother during medical crisis. Eleanor's face went purple. You can't do this. I'll sue this hospital into the ground. Please do, Patricia replied. We have security footage of you disposing of a premature infant's belongings while stating you hope the baby dies. I'm sure the media would love that story. Prominent family matriarch throws away dying baby's clothes. Marcus tried to intervene. This is ridiculous. I'm the father, who agreed that his critically ill son didn't need clothes because he probably wouldn't survive. Patricia cut him off. Mr. Torres, you're not banned, but you'll be supervised during all visits. Any attempts to undermine your wife's care of your son will result in your removal as well. The legal aid lawyer, Jennifer Park, was a force of nature. Within 3 days, she'd filed for emergency custody orders, citing medical neglect and psychological abuse. The security footage was Exhibit A. The nurses' testimonies about Eleanor's behavior were Exhibit B through F. But the moment that truly changed everything came during Liam's 4th week. He'd turned a corner, breathing on his own for longer periods. I was doing skin-to-skin contact when Marcus arrived with divorce papers. Sign them, he said coldly. Mom's right. When Liam passes, I don't want to be tied to you. Jennifer happened to walk in at that moment, along with Patricia and Dr. Morrison. They'd been coming to check on me, worried about the stress. Instead, they witnessed Marcus trying to force me to sign papers while I held our premature son. Mr. Torres, Dr. Morrison said quietly, are you attempting to coerce your wife into divorce while she's providing medical care to your critical infant? Marcus flushed. This is private. Not in my NICU, Patricia interrupted. She took the papers from his hands, glancing through them. Interesting. These papers claim abandonment and cite mental instability. Yet we have 3 weeks of footage showing Mrs. Torres here 18 hours a day while you visit for 20 minutes. Jennifer smiled, a shark scenting blood. Mr. Torres, this is coercion during medical crisis. It's also fraud, claiming abandonment while she's literally holding your premature son. I'll be filing charges. The next 6 weeks changed everything. Liam grew stronger daily, defying every odd. The 20% chance became 40, then 60, then certainty. Meanwhile, the legal system ground into action. Eleanor's ban from the hospital became a restraining order after she tried to sneak in dressed as a volunteer. Marcus's coercion attempt triggered a social services investigation that revealed he'd already been apartment hunting with his mother. The divorce proceedings were swift and brutal. Jennifer used the hospital's documentation to prove systematic abuse. Marcus got supervised visitation only. Eleanor got a criminal harassment charge. The judge, reviewing the security footage of her throwing away the clothes and laughing about Liam dying, awarded me full custody and the house. But the true victory came the day Liam came home. 12 weeks old, 5 pounds of fierce determination. Patricia and the entire NICU staff lined the hallway for his discharge. Dr. Morrison had started a collection. Liam left with 3 bags of new clothes, each piece donated by hospital staff who'd watched him fight. As I carried him past the gift shop, I saw Eleanor's friend, the one who'd laughed with her about throwing away the clothes. She stared at Liam in my arms, healthy and alert, dressed in a odyssey that read NICU Graduate 2024. Impossible, she whispered. Eleanor said he wouldn't survive. Eleanor was wrong about everything, I replied, adjusting my son's tiny hat, hand-knitted by Patricia herself. But then again, she never understood that the only thing premature about my son was his arrival, not his fighting spirit. 6 months later, I received a call from Patricia. Eleanor had been admitted to the cardiac unit after a mild heart attack. She'd apparently seen our photo in the local paper, Liam and I at a NICU fundraiser, Him chunky and thriving, me named as the new coordinator for the family support program Dr. Morrison had created. She keeps asking to see him, Patricia said. Claims she's learned her lesson. I looked at Liam, now crawling determinedly toward his toys, wearing one of the many outfits from the hospital staff. Tell her what she told me, I replied. Why keep trying when the odds aren't in her favor? Patricia's quiet laugh was answer enough. The truth is, Eleanor was right about one thing. Those tiny clothes from the drawer didn't matter. What mattered was the village that rose up when one cruel woman tried to tear us down. The head nurse who made one phone call that brought an army of support. The doctor who saw abuse where others might see family drama. The lawyer who fought for free because she believed no mother should face that battle alone. Liam is too now, running everywhere, a tornado of energy that defies every prediction made about him. His favorite game is peekaboo with Patricia during our volunteer shifts at the NICU. We help mothers facing what I faced. Family members who see premature birth as predetermined failure rather than fierce possibility. Marcus remarried quickly, someone Eleanor chose. They don't have children. I heard Eleanor tells people it's by choice, but Jennifer heard through legal channels that there were fertility issues. The irony isn't lost on me. The woman who threw away her grandchild's clothes because he wouldn't survive now has no grandchildren at all. Sometimes, when I'm folding Liam's clothes, he has so many now, I think about that empty drawer. It taught me something vital. Hope isn't stored in objects. It lives in the choice to keep fighting when everyone tells you to give up. It lives in the nurses who stay 36 hours straight, in the doctors who see beyond medical charts to human suffering, in the babies who breathe against all odds. Eleanor threw away clothes. But she could never throw away what actually mattered. My determination, Liam's spirit, and the profound truth that sometimes the smallest fighters win the biggest battles.